If you were going to tell someone what Valerie's House is about, what would you tell them?
Valeries House is just grief counseling. So if a family member, even a pet, has died, just go to Valeries House. You can just talk about as much grief as you want.
Valeries House is for not just the kids that have lost a special person in their life, but those that support them. Parent, a grandparent, an aunt and uncle, a foster parent, and sometimes even a sibling.
And then, was surprised that there was a caregivers meeting also for myself. I think what the kids took away from it was strangely a sense of gratitude when they left that first night.
A lot of the children, when they first walk through the doors, might think this is therapy. And they'll go, I'm going to my counseling session. And then I think pretty quickly they see that this doesn't, first of all, feel like a counseling center. It doesn't look anything like a clinical place at all. It actually is a true home.
Want to go to the elevator?
I lost my dad back in 2021, September 21st. When I walked into this house, I just thought, wow, I never expected for me to be in a house like this. There's more people to connect with.
You're not the only one. I also lost my mom. It's okay. They're watching over you.
They're watching over you.
Yeah.
Would help me grow and get through the stuff that I need to be. A safe place and where it helps lots of kids.
Comforts me.
So these kids come in here, even our little ones as young as 4 and 5, know what confidentiality means. And they take that very seriously. My daughter hasn't been in group in a few years. However, there are a couple of kids in her school she was in group with that she's now in class with in high school. And they still honor that confidentiality. They don't go around saying, hey, that's the kid whose dad died. Or, hey, did you know his mom's dead? They don't do that. They still honor that to this day. And, they may not talk about it, but they pass in the hall and it's that, I see you. I know that you're here if I need you. If I'm having a really bad day, I can just say, I'm having a bad day, and you would get it.
Because of the work we're doing at Valeries House, our kids are first of all able to learn how to cope on those darkest of days that will come at you when you least expected it. They are also learning that they have a voice and that people care about them.
Mostly comforting them, just make them feel comfortable. Give them a good hug, and yeah.
Is that what happens here?
Yeah, lots of times, every single time we're here.
Remember how we hug ourselves? Good job!
Can I help?
Good job!
I have learned to cooperate with others, learn how to share my feelings, of not being too emotional over it, and at the same time not showing any emotion.
Where other kids maybe it was a drug overdose, or maybe there was very hard things, and they started to really appreciate that we really had this great dad and this father, and we had these great memories to hold on to, because it can happen in so many different ways. And maybe they're grieving a father that wasn't there, or there was other issues, and they didn't get to have a healthy relationship or things that were good that they remembered. And so I think they felt a lot of gratitude for that. They came home with an awareness, because we'd do these little projects and they would be asked questions, and it would be a way to bring up memories that they kind of had forgotten. So that was cool that we were able to capture some of those.
Lets me remember makes me remember my mom. It's nice. It has these little emotion colors. It has that little pillow-o-meter. A safe place.
A safe place.
Yeah.
What do you like about the masks?
That it shows us what we like. It's what people know what I feel like on the outside. And what people know what I feel in the inside and stuff. So that's what it makes me feel more about it.
My daughter has she really developed a very strong friendship that is still, they're together a lot. She comes over quite a lot. And this young lady, she lost her mother, and it was a friend that was different than all other friends, you know, and I think they'll always have a bond. So that's just like a strength that she'll always kind of carry with her.
One of our rules is it's okay to feel. It's okay that they're angry. It's okay that they're frustrated. It's okay that they're mad. And that room allows them a safe space to be able to process those feelings and to be able to get into a healthy spot.
Valeries House is a safe place for you to share your feelings, for you to talk to your friends, and connect with others.
They are learning self-confidence and self-esteem. A lot of them are learning how to help others, because as new kids join the group or new adults join the group, those grieving families become mentors to new grieving people.
Hey guys, my name's Angela. This is like my 3rd week volunteering, so I'm excited to be here. I'm feeling like a 10. And the person who died was my dad, and he died when I was 13.
What is impacted first is that they can't focus, you know, and that grief and trauma in the brain look very similar to other diagnoses like an ADHD. And so we know that these families getting the support and help they need is going to impact school, is going to impact some of their decisions that they're making. Hey, for some of them, it's impacting their future. They're getting a Valeries House scholarship. They're going off to college and they're pursuing mental health degrees to be group counselors. Yeah, it's this whole pay it forward like model that is so empowering for people. It really is. That's probably one of the things that I've seen work the most, is getting them to a point where they're helping others. It's awesome to see that.
And I like the honesty with others who shared that they don't know, because we don't have to know everything, right? We're not going to possibly know everything. So to kind of like lengthen the I don't know response, you guys could maybe say something like, you know, I don't know how to help, but let's find somebody who can, right? So you may not be doing the helping, but you're trying to take them to somebody who may be able to help. And being honest with them. You know, it's okay to not know. Yeah. Even we don't know sometimes as adults. And then we have to go ask somebody else.
A lot of our families come to us very broken. They feel that they're, forever have a stamp on them now, that they're going to be a statistic, that there is no hope. And a lot of the kids feel like they're broken and less than. If anyone really knew that I didn't have a dad at home, what would they think of me? You know, so they're coming to us in shame. And, you know, over time, they feel empowered now. Hey, I got through this and now I'm helping others. And their whole demeanor changes. Yeah.
We have a room for everyone here in the house, whether that is a caregiver, that is a child, or someone else that is helping to support the kids. Not only do we have space for group sessions, we also have space for individual counseling.
The need is so great. I mean, there's thousands of kids in this community and thousands of adults who will lose someone. They will. Statistically, it's 1 in 11 before the age of 18 will lose a parent or sibling in the state of Florida. More than 20,000 children just in Lee County. We have this incredible facility. We will never, ever stop. Our vision is no child will grieve alone.
Thank you guys all so much for coming to group tonight. Tonight we talked about the different ways that our bodies can feel and where we might feel all those feelings in our bodies, and you know, what can we do when we feel those feelings in our bodies. So the kids have a take-home person, little like trace person, where they drew where their grief is in their body and how they feel it. So yeah, we can talk about that on the way home, right? Yeah? Pass it to me or Mom? All right, ready?
Those who haven't experienced grief as a child have no idea. They really underestimate the impact that it makes on their life. It's not just the loss of a special person in your life. There are multiple losses day in and day out that these families are feeling, from an empty chair at a kitchen table every night. the person that took you to school. For many of our kids, the person they lost was the person that believed in them. You will never replace this. It's not just now, it's forever. It's who's gonna walk me down the aisle. They're not gonna be here for graduation. We have kids that are only 13 and 14 and are already thinking, my kids aren't gonna have grandparents. Like, it's the rest of your life. And even as young as 6 and 7, they're understanding the magnitude of that loss. Yeah, I think with our families, and especially our children and teens, it's impossible to put into words what they're experiencing and what they're feeling. The worst thing we can do is shrug it off and not give them a place to talk about it. You know, that's what this place is. We're not bringing the person back. And oftentimes I'll go home at night and I'll go, well, the real answer to all this is, can't we bring him back? Wouldn't that be the best? We'll never be able to do that. That's frustrating, you know, because that is the answer. They're not coming back. So we have this life to live without them. And what can we do to make this life the best it can possibly be? And what can we do to live for them? And so I oftentimes use those words when I close out a group. I'll say, we love you and we live for you. And all the kids will say that together with me as we're talking about our person that we lost.
We can go on the website and you can actually refer yourself, or someone else can refer you, and that'll go straight into our enrollment and someone will give you a call. What we would do as Valeries House is place them in a group that we think they would make the best connections, depending on what kind of death it was, what kind of family they were, if they were intact, if they were separated, so that when they're in a group, we have the most chance for them to connect with each other and find that. Because that's the power of this. It's different than therapeutic. It's the power of connection.